Hey everyone, One Spitting here with another battle report. So last weekend I went to the Buckeye Battles tournament up near Columbus, Ohio. 96 players in the tournament. I was really excited to go. I went last year and I did pretty well in it and had a great time. So the next 5 games will be the games from that tournament. So I took my Beastmen with the same list I've been playing for the last couple months, it seems like. 2,400 points. This first scenario is called, well, blind deployment. So there's a piece of cardboard running down the middle of the table, and you just set your stuff down before you see what your opponent did. So I deployed, as you can see. I'll go down to my... Oh, let me say first, too, that my opponent and I are both in Band 3. Now what that means is they divided all the army lists into 3 different groups based on how, how soft or hard the lists were. And they put my list as a soft list, which kind of surprised me. I thought I'd be in Band 2, medium lists. But being in this list means that, in this band, means that all of my opponents on day 1 will also be from this band. So both of us, in theory, have soft lists here. At the top I've got a Tuscarora Chariot, a horde of Bestigor with some Harpies behind him, a small unit of Gore with a level 2. I'll go through my characters in just a minute. Minotaurs, a horde of Gore with extra hand weapons, and then some Harpies. So with the Minotaurs I've got my Doom Bull. He is not my general. He's got the 1-up rerollable armor save that gives him extra attacks. Always strikes first sword and the other Trickster Shard. And I've got my Wargore Battle Standard Bearer with the Beast Banner. He also has heavy armor and shield, of course. Then I've got 2 mages. My general is my Great Brave Shaman in with the Bestigors. They've got the Standard of Discipline, so I have Leadership 9 on the table. He's level 4 beast with really no items because I couldn't afford him with my Doom Bull. And then I've got a level 2 beast shaman with a power scroll. So this is actually at the end of movement after Beastmen turn 1 and High Elves turn 1. I went first, I moved up. If you look in the middle, instead of a level 2 wizard, I now have a big monster. During my magic phase, I really didn't have a whole lot that was going to help me, so I went ahead and turned him into a mountain chimera. I got irresistible force, it cost me a few gore, and I was doing it because, one, if he dispels it, it's going to mean there's other things in his magic phase he's not going to be able to do, like such as Dwellers Below, or he can forget to dispel it, and I might be able to get that Mount Chimera into his stuff. He's moved, but just going through his list on the left, he's got some Spear Elves, White Lions, Phoenix Guard, some more Spear Elves, Sword Masters, and then 2 Lion Chariots. And his characters, his general is an Archmage, level 3 life. Silver Wand gives him an extra spell. Talisman of Sapphire means that any magical weapons count as mundane against him. And then Flareth's Robes means that he can only be wounded by magical attacks. That's kind of a tricky little combo there. He's with 13 White Lions with the Banner of Sorcery, so he's going to have a decent magic phase. That's plus D3 power dice. He's got a Battle Standard Bearer with a ward save with 18 Phoenix Guard, and then he's got 14 Sword Masters. So, and he's got an eagle over here that he flew around. So during his magic phase, he did dispel my monster, and I obviously cannot take a picture. And he cast Flesh to Stone on his Phoenix Guard, got irresistible force, and lost a magic level and that spell. And that's pretty nice because High Elves at toughness 3 are pretty squishy, and I like to keep them that way. So it was nice to see that spell go away. The problem is I plan on charging him this turn, and I'm just going to have to deal with toughness 5 elves. I'd like to get my Minotaurs in there because I'm strength 5 to begin with. I might be able to get a Wysons. With my Doom Bull, he makes you reroll successful ward saves. So I'd really, really like to get my Minotaurs into these guys, and I can deal with the toughness buff this turn. So we go to Beastman turn 2, another blurry picture, and it looks like that. Basically, I charged with all 4 of these units, and 2 of them made the charge, and 2 of them missed the charge. I wanted my Minotaurs and the Gore unit to get into his Phoenix Guard because I was going to try to turn my level 2 into a monster again. So then I've got the Doom Bull, the Doom Bull making him reroll ward saves. My level 2 would have been out of combat, so I could have moved him into combat as the Mount Chimera and just torn him up. But my Minotaurs decided not to do it. On the far left, Harpies charges Eagle. I don't need him redirecting later on. Yeah, that looks like that. That's really not going to go well for me. But at the same time, I'm okay with it if I can turn into a Mountain Chimera and just whittle him down. I'm very, very happy to sacrifice this unit and the level 2 if it can make some of these elite units more manageable. I'm actually more worried about the White Lions than I'm in the Phoenix Guard, because I just really think my Doom Bull can handle the Phoenix Guard. But nevertheless, still okay there. A little bit miffed at these guys. I wanted them to get in with the White Lions. I know they're going to be stubborn 8, but it would have given me a chance to, get a lot of wounds on them and maybe just kill them outright. It's important to me to make the charge, by the way, because then I can get in one-on-one. If he gets to charge me, he might be able to dual charge, and then that would be bad. So on the far right, my Horde with my Battle Standard Bearer were able to get into the Swordmasters. I really like these matchups. I mean, as long as I can choose my battles, he's going to do a bunch of wounds to me. He should really do 10, and I'm going to do a bunch of wounds back, and I think I should do 10. But the difference is I've got 40 guys here, and he's only got, I think, 13. So I am going to win that battle if I can, get some time with the Swordmasters. But I know those Spear Elves and those White Lion Chariots are coming in soon. So hopefully I can deal with the Swordmasters very quickly. So during the magic phase, I rolled so low on the Winds of Magic that I could not turn him into a Mountain Chimera, so I turned it into a Great Horn Dragon, which isn't nearly as good, but it should be okay. Here on the far left, the Harpies were able to kill the Eagle. Basically, I charged and did a wound. He did one wound to me. I won. He fled. I restrained and reformed, and he ran off the table. So now I can redirect. He can't, so I kind of like that. Here in the middle, during the magic phase, I think he got on. I think he got off Shield of Thorns or something, because I think the wounds you see here are from the. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, that's just after combat. He just killed a few Gore. I killed, I think, 3 Phoenix Guard, which sounds awful, but my Gore weren't going to do any wounds against him with him being at toughness 5 and the ward save. The Great Horn Dragon is okay, but it's at like 7 attacks, so he did 3 wounds out of 7 attacks. I can't complain about that. Yeah, just even with Thunderstomp, he just made his ward saves. And then here to the Swordmasters. Sure enough, he killed 10 of my Gore, but I killed 13 of his. So this is before I overran, but I just wanted to take that picture. That was a bloody fight, but yeah, like I said, I just had the numbers to deal with it. And so then it got weird. So I rolled to overrun, and it took me into contact with the Spear Elves. We knew it was, and so we looked at it, and I was in his flank. So I just wheeled as much as I could. I hit the corner, and then he had to close the door to me, which means that he kind of swung. So I'm actually in his flank. He had to offer me his flank and wheel that way. It was actually one of the weirder things I've seen in Warhammer. I did not make contact with the White Lion, so I know they're going to come in next time. I think this fight's just going to be real bloody, but I like my chances with it. I like that I'm strength 4. I think I'm just going to get a lot of combat res against those squishy Spear Elves. So High Elves turn 2. That's what the board looks like overall. Yeah, these are the Lion Chariots coming into my Horde of Gore on the right. His White Lions with his General are coming into my small unit of Gore with the Great Horn Dragon. And I'm just really hoping here that he doesn't kill me, so I can just get my attacks, because going against the White Lions, they'll be toughness 3 and they won't have the ward save. I can whittle him down. I don't care if he beats and runs down this unit if I can make those White Lions much more manageable later on. If you notice that magic card, you got Curse of Honor here off on the White Lions, so they're -1 to hit, which isn't going to affect a whole lot, but they should have lost about 1/3 of the unit when they charged, and if you look at it, it looks like they did. So the White Lions are already a little more manageable. Again, I'm just hoping he doesn't do so many wounds that he kills this thing outright, before I get to attack. Other than that, the Spear Elves just kind of marched up a little bit. And this was after the magic phase. He got Shield of Thorns off on his Phoenix Guard, and it just killed a bunch of my guys. And then after combat, yeah, you notice there's only 2 Gore left. I think the Phoenix Guard did 4 wounds on the Great Horn Dragon, which I thought was lucky. I mean, I think that was probably above average, and it probably didn't matter because the White Lions came to the flank at strength 6, re-roll into hit, and they just finished them off like it was nothing. Luckily, it was funny. He didn't kill all the gore. They fled, but they're on snake eyes and they never rally. So they just keep on running. He pursued with both, which I thought was just beautiful. I think it was a mistake too. I think pursuing. I think he wanted to get the points, but he was going to get the points regardless because my odds of rolling snake eyes are pretty low. So as it is, he just offered a flank to my minotaurs, and he is going to allow me to charge the white lions instead of charging the spear elves. And the white lions, because he's now reduced to numbers, I like my odds against. So there's another angle on it. You can see there's my Doom Bull. I wanted to get him into the Phoenix Guard, and now I can do so in the flank. So very, very happy about that. Over here, yeah, I just did so many wounds on the Spear Elves that actually one combat, one of the Lion Chariots broke. I went ahead and, oh, you know what, I reformed, and now I realize I shouldn't have done that. Bummer, I hate that. Anyway, I reformed illegally, and this is just going to be bloody. I think, I don't know if I like my odds as much because he's going to be able to whittle me down a lot, but I don't know. I think, I was looking at this thinking, yeah, we're just going to put a bunch of wounds on each other. So we go to Beastmen turn 3. The Minotaurs charge the Phoenix Guard in the flank. The Vestigor charge the White Lions in the front. I also charged the Chariot into the White Lions before I realized that there was no way I was going to be able to make it fit. So the Chariot on the left is a failed charge. If you look in the upper right, well, I'll give you a closer look there later. So this is up close and personal on the charges. Here on the far right, yeah, if you look at the Harpies, they charged the Lion Chariot that had fled, and it rolled really low, didn't even go off the table, so they easily caught it and then just reformed. And then, yeah, after combat here, he did, I believe, 8 wounds to my Vestigor. I did enough to kill the rest of the White Lions. His Spear Elves fled, and his general fled, as you can see him. I couldn't catch anything. I think I rolled snake eyes trying to catch him. But I am not going to complain because I've got Harpies to the right who can deal with his general just through combat res, and if they can't kill him and chase him down through combat res, I really think my Minotaur, my Doom Bull will be finished with the Phoenix Guard pretty soon, and they can charge, and eventually I'm going to beat this guy through combat res. My Vestigors can handle the Spear Elves on their own, so I'm not worried about that. So I really think at this point, everything's just crumbled for him. The only thing I'm worried about is keeping my horde with my Battle Standard Bearer alive on the right-hand side. So after combat here, yeah, the amazing thing is I think he only did 1 wound to my Minotaurs, and that's crazy. I mean, he's re-rolling to hit. He's Strength 4 to my Toughness 4. He really should have done several. I don't know what was going on, but he just really didn't wound him. I got the Savage Beast of Horus off on my Doom Bull, so I mean he has +3 attacks, +3 strengths. It's actually a little bit ridiculous, and he's making the Phoenix Guard reroll all of their ward saves because it's anybody in base contact with them. So I'm just allocating hits from my other Minotaurs against models that are touching my Doom Bull. So over here, yeah, we just notice there's a lot fewer Spear Elves. There's some fewer of me, so really I think I'm going to win this over here now, eventually. And High Elves turn 3, it looks like this. The Spear Elves on the left rally, and amazingly his general does not rally. So now his general's toast, because now my Harpies can charge him. He'll flee. My Harpies are almost certainly going to catch him. Yeah, the Spear Elves are sitting there just waiting for my horde of Vestigor to charge in. I've got 30 Vestigor with my general against probably 30 Spear Elves. I just really, really like my odds there. Now the scenario we're playing is based on table quarters, and in order to claim a table quarter, it's kind of the unit that does it is they're kind of picky about what counts, and you need to have more table quarters than your opponent. So I really need to get his last Spear Elves unit off the table because they're claiming a table quarter, and I just need to get it off. So it looks like that. High Elves turn 3 over here on the right. This round went much better for him than for me. So you notice he's missing a few guys. I'm missing a ton. He just did a ton of wounds that time. So now I'm really worried about saving the Horde of Gore and my Battle Standard Bearer. The good news is the Phoenix Guard are gone. I was able to reform my Minotaurs to where they are technically in the flank of that of the Spear Elves unit, And we spent some time measuring that, and we both agreed that I'm in their flank. So at least they'll be able to, unless I fail that charge, which would be almost impossible. So Beastmen turn forward. Doombull and friends make it into the flank of the Spear Elves. You know, if you look on those tokens, I only have 2 wounds on a Minotaur, so those Phoenix Guard in 2 rounds of combat only did 2 wounds total, which is nuts. I've got 3 frenzy markers. Yeah, I've won that combat. So the only thing I'm worried about is if he gets insanely lucky and kills the rest of this unit and gets all those points for him. There are my Harpies claiming his general, and here's my charge Bestigors into his Spear Elves. I think, you know, he's going to be steadfast for a while, but, you know, steadfast 8 is easily lost, but for the most part, I think I'm going to win that. You know, he has a lot of attacks, but it takes 5s to wound me, and then I get a 5-up armor save. I get a lot of attacks, but I get to reroll to hit. I'm wounding on 2s. He doesn't get an armor save. I really think I'm gonna win this one. So on the right hand side, yeah, the Spear Elves are all dead. The Lion Chariot's sitting on 1 wound, breaks from combat and flees. If you look at my Horde of Gore, I've got 3 of them left, so at least I have that. And then over here, I couldn't believe it. My Bestigor charge in. He gets to go first. He has, I believe he has 20 attacks. 20 attacks, re-rolling to hit. He hit 14, and then rolling to wound, he needs 5s, and he rolled 12 out of 14, and I didn't make any armor saves. So he actually won combat, broke my Bestigors, ran him down. He's got my Horde of Bestigors and my General, and I just went from thinking I'm going to table him and get full scenario objective points to, oh my gosh, now I'm not going to get any objective points, and he just snatched. Oh, I couldn't believe it. In Overrun, he got a free charge of my Chariot. So overall, it looks like this on Beastman turn 4. High Elf turn 4, he rallies his Lion Chariot. I charge him, he flees, stays on the table. Over here, I need to get his unit off the table because he's with them on there, we both have 1 table quarter, and I need to have more table quarters than him. So what I'm hoping is just to get enough combat res. He'll be steadfast, but just hoping that he just breaks. So I charge my Harpies in the rear. You know, he charged my Chariot, and after combat, he wins. It looks like that. We go to High Elf turn 5. His Lion Chariot runs off the table. He finishes off my Harpies. My Chariot's still sitting there, so I'm going to try the same gambit again with the other unit of Harpies in his flank. Harpies come in. I'm just really hoping just to get lucky and win combat, let him be steadfast, and run this unit down. And it's not going to happen. He kills the Chariot. He beats the Harpies in combat res. Was not able to run him down. And on his turn, he charges. I run 2 inches, and he catches the Harpies, and it looks like that. I couldn't believe it. I mean, a great opponent, a real fun game. I could not believe that my Bestigors just laid down and died to his Spear Elves. So I won the game, but I got 13 points. You can really get up to 20 points through, you know, just the regular how much you kill and stuff. But then you can get 5 points in scenario objectives. I really thought at the turn 4 that I was going to get 25 points total, which is the max. And my Bestigors failing, what took me from 25 to 13. I absolutely couldn't believe it. I was so frustrated with them. Never did I think a Horde of Bestigor would charge into a ranked up unit of Spear Elves and lose. But that's Warhammer, that's what happens. So I'll always take the victory. So I know that at this point in the tournament, I'm certainly not in the top 10 or anything. But that just means that when they start matching things up later, I may get... you know, not have to go against somebody who's been crushing his opponents. So looking at the bright side, I'll take that going into game 2. So that was it. Hope you enjoyed it.